I just need to let it go, man. I need to let go of this idea of picking a freaking exercise and doing it to death. It's just my intuition has always pulled me in that direction for some reason. Just, yeah, I have this innate belief, innate reflex to think about just one thing and just ram it to death. I need to get away from that, man. I really do. It's just my mind is just always stuck on this specificity thing, and like my intuition is to just do something over and over and over again. But what I've learned, especially in this little period, is that variation is like not just important, but like it's like paramount. It's so crucial for you to include variation into the thing. Today I tried incline bench pressing, and I did my usual flat bench, whatever, worked up to 100. I ended up doing 3 sets of 8 today, so like one rep better than last time. Last time I did 3 sets of 7. So in progressing there, whatever, it's going all right, feeling good, and did some drop down sets, and then I thought, okay, I want to do some inclining. Tried some incline just for the sake of variation, and then as I was doing it, I'm like, wow. Number one, it's a foreign movement. I was like pushing the bar too far ahead of me, so I was losing balance. My hands were shaky already. But set after set, I just kept feeling different part of my pecs and more anterior shoulders, more triceps. I was using an arrow grip for it. And like in that moment, I kept thinking to myself, man, this is the key. It's not the incline bench press is now the freaking most amazing thing in the world. In the past, I used to believe that. I used to try an exercise and I would get so infatuated by those effects. And I'm like, yeah, man, this is the best exercise ever. And then I'll do it day after day, whatever, weekly, wherever I was doing. And then those effects start to fade away. And then I'll be like puzzled. And then I'll find something else, and then I'll jump on that thing. I'm like, this is amazing because it feels amazing. Everything is amazing. That's the truth, but not for a very long time. You need variation. And so right now, this incline thing is like freaking amazing. It just felt so good to be in the incline. But I'm sure after a few weeks, that's going to start to fade away. So then I move on to the next thing. And I don't know how much of a rotation you want to have, how many pushing exercises you want to have. And you can also use different implements, different bars, bands, chains, dumbbells. Like there's so much stuff there, but you just have to keep rotating it. And still in the same realm of what you're trying to improve, which is the flat bench. You're still pushing things with your arms and your chest. So you don't want to get too far away in terms of, too much variation. As long as you kind of keep it in the ballpark, you're good. Made me think about the hack squat. Last few days, I'm like, I'm going to do hack squats for 6 months. Wrong. Don't think of it that way. Sure. Have the hack squat, 5-plate goal there. But maybe after 3 weeks, go to the belt squat. Spend a couple of weeks there, then come back to hack squat. Right? That's the key. The key is not to just do something to death. But that's my intuition. I don't know if it comes from the basketball world of shooting free throws, freaking, in basketball, it's like the coaches always used to teach me, like, you want to make sure every single shot looks the same. So whether you're stepping back, you're running left, running right, whether it's of 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, pull up, left, right, you always want the elevation and the shot to look the same. Like you're after this most specific, repetitive motion of a jump shot. That's what you're trying to do in basketball. And then I came to weightlifting and the gym, and I tried to kind of have that same vibe, and that's why I was kind of so attracted to the Bulgarian system, because they literally had the smallest exercise selection. And I was like, yeah, man, that's what I want to do. But it doesn't quite work that way when you're thinking about hypertrophy and strength acquisition. You need variation. For whatever reason, the science is kind of whacked by that, but the body just gets accustomed to something and it gets comfortable. And when you get comfortable, it's kind of like you need a certain amount of stress on the system for you to progress. And you could probably extrapolate that to many other areas of your life. If you spend too long in one workplace, you become stale and you don't have enough challenges, and you start to kind of almost regress in your career. So you need variation there as well, especially when it comes to the gym. Like, it's the body tries to get comfortable. It's like the survival thing. It tries to get comfortable. When it gets comfortable, it doesn't progress. So you got to zap it. Keep it fresh. Do something else. My God, Another freaking thing to learn. Okay, we need to get better again. And you just keep doing that. And that's kind of what Louis Simmons talked about. I mean, he had hundreds of freaking exercises. And he had this like huge, round freaking Robin type thing where he wouldn't do something for like another 6 months. I don't know if you need that much variation, but you need some. So whether, you're hack squatting, then you're belt squatting, then you're lunging or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just mix it up a little bit. And this is something that's a hard sell for me, right? Because my whole idea is to like obsess over one movement and keep doing it. It's not the best approach. The first time I did the hack squat, I was like, oh my God, sore for like 3-4 days. The other day I did hack squats and already I am sore, but I can already see that I'm kind of getting accustomed to it, which is okay. The body's adapting, right? That's fantastic. But then that adaptation gets less and less and less because the stress is the same. Mix it up after 3 weeks. Let's say 3 weeks. Do belt squats. Well, that's a new thing again. Just slightly different. It's still a squat motion, but it's just that tad different to keep it a little bit fresher and to force the body to learn something and force that adaptation. This is something, the squat every day thing, attracted me to it because it was the opposite of this idea. But now I need to learn to accept variation as not for somebody that just gets bored easy. It's not a boredom thing. I'm happy doing one thing for 1,000 years. I'm happy. But it's not the best way to go about it. And this is coming from somebody that absolutely got attracted to Bulgarian for those reasons. And now I'm kind of sitting on the other side thinking there's something to be learned here. And bodybuilding, this stuff, this bodybuilding arc that I'm in right now, it's not going to go well if I just do 4 or 5 exercises and just keep doing them. You need a little bit of variation. And so, obviously, I want to get better at squat, bench, deadlift. So there needs to be a degree of specificity to keep, decent at my sport. So let's say I can keep those 3 things in the mix so I can practice. But all this other accessory stuff, man, like that's not a sport for me. This is a tool for me. So why am I obsessing about an accessory? Nah, man. The accessory is there to improve my sport. Squat, bench, deadlift. That's what I'm trying to improve. All this other stuff, man, keep it in rotation, man. Move on, man. Whatever. I'm not going to fall in love with 100 different exercises. Nah. 3 exercises is what I'm trying to improve. Everything else is just being used. Used and reused. So I'll keep a track of it. I'll keep a track of it in my write-up, in my journal. And when it gets to about 3 weeks, off you go. Bang. Let's do something else. Get on the belt squat. Get on whatever. Pendulum squat. I think there's a gym here nearby that has the pendulum. Get in that. Whatever. It doesn't matter, man. It does not have to feel amazing like a hack squat or like a normal squat. Just keep it freaking mixing it up. And that's kind of what the sensation for me was in the incline. I started inclining and I was like, wow, that is a different feeling, man. I started feeling, for real, my upper chest, like that anterior deltoid region. Not only did I do the incline, but I did it with a narrow grip. I kind of sat in it for the first time and I was like, so what grip am I using? Am I using wide grip here as well? Like I'm doing the wide variation on the flat bench. Then I come to this thing. I did a few sets just with an empty barbell, trying to kind of customize myself what I'm supposed to be doing. And quickly I was like, oh, I don't know if wide would feel the best on an incline. So I just went pinkies on the rings, pinky thing on the ring. And I started doing it that way. And I was like, it was a different feeling altogether. 1, because of the grip, and 2, because of the incline bench. And it just felt freaking amazing. I was already taxed by that point. But it felt freaking amazing. And not because incline is the greatest freaking exercise, it's better than the flat. It's purely because it's different. And different is what makes you better. Think about strongman guys. Man, they've got 100 different freaking things they have to get better at. All sorts of implements, all sorts of different things. So there's something to be learned there as well, man. I mean, those guys, right, they're the strongest people in the world. Do they have variation? Yeah, man. They've got a lot of variation. They need to get good at many different things, not just 3 lifts like powerlifters. Nah, man, there's a lot of stuff going on there. So it's something that I have to work on mentally to get away from this idea of obsessing about all these different things. I do enjoy the hack squat, and I think it's a freaking amazing exercise. But it's not my sport. I didn't fall in love with the hack squat machine some 10 years ago. It wasn't that. it was the proper barbell squat. The hack squat attracts me because I feel like I can see that it can improve me, and it can, but it has its due date. It has its use by date. And so I'm thinking, I don't know how it's going to work when I go back to work and whatever, but I'm thinking, I've got the belt squat at home, do that. When I head to the gym, do the pendulum squat, and I think about some other things. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the SSB. I don't know how much I want to mix it up, but the machines are great because they stabilize the movement, and you can really kind of push and focus on those quads. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe have a front squat rotation. Keep on mixing, but don't go too far away from hack squats. I reckon 3 weeks, if I just go hack, belt squat, I reckon that in itself would be a lot better than just hack squat now for the next 6 months. I'm pretty sure you would agree with that as well, right? Like, doing something over and over again, it will have diminishing returns. But if I just mix it up just with 2 exercises at least, belt squat, hack squat, I reckon the effects for both would be better when I combine the two for maybe 3-week blocks than if I just had a freaking 6-month block of hacks. In my mind, that makes sense to me. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.